So we're starting section 2 of chapter 3, which is writing expressions. So we're going to see words or phrases, and we're going to convert them, the word sentences, into mathematical equations. Remember, along the way, you can pause the video. You can rewind if you need to, if you don't understand something. And if you have a question, go ahead and write that question in your notebook so that we can go over that tomorrow during class. So the first thing you're going to do is copy down this chart. So these are keywords or phrases that you can convert to math operations. So look that over, copy it down. Make sure you understand what all those words mean and what they're translated to. So for example, if I see the word added, I know I'm going to use the plus sign, or plus, sum of, more than, increased by, and. So look those over, make sure you understand what all those words mean, and if you don't, circle them so that we can go over those tomorrow during class. So pause the video, copy down the chart, and then move on when you're ready. So we're going to practice some examples. So example 1, we're going to write some expressions. So for A, we have 24 less than 100. So I'm going to underline my numbers just so that I keep track of what I'm doing. And I'm going to circle my key phrases that I can look up on my chart if I need to. So I have less than. I know that I'm going to use my subtraction sign. And I have 24 less than 100. So I have 24 less than 100. So I do want 100 minus 24. We're going to practice more of those as well. Another example, I have the quotient of 6 and 3. I'm going to underline my numbers. I'm going to circle my key phrase or word, and I know quotient means to use my division sign. So I have 6 divided by 3. So I've converted my phrases into mathematical equations. So here I have some more examples. So again, I'm going to underline my numbers. So I have 8 less than twice a number. So I know 8's a number. Twice is a number that I'm going to use. And I'm going to say circle less than. And a number, that could be any number, so I can make that into a variable. So now I'm going to take my phrase and I'm going to convert that to a mathematical equation. So I have 8 less than, so I have 8 less than twice a number. And I just like using x for my number that I don't really know. So we're going to practice some more of these. So again, I'm going to underline where I have my numbers. So I have 10 more than the product of 5 times a number. So I'm going to circle my key phrases. Again, I have more than. I also have the product. I also have times a number. So there's my number again that I'm going to use for my variable. So now I need to write that as a mathematical. Okay, so I have the number 10. More than is a plus sign. The product of 5 times a number. So the product is multiplication. So I have 5 times. And there's my x again for my variable as a number. So copy that down, and when you're ready, and if you need to, pause, and when you're ready, go ahead and move on. So now I have some for you to try on your own. There's going to be quite a few of these. So as you solve them in your notebook, remember we're writing all this down in our notebook, you're going to then enter your answers into the text box on the right-hand side of your screen. If you don't know how to do the problem, then just write a question mark in so that I know that we need to go over these tomorrow. So remember the technique that I'm using. I underline my number, so I have 18. I'm going to circle the key phrases, so I have the sum of, and there is my a number, which is my variable, and I like to use x as my variable. So go ahead and try these one at a time. As you progress, go ahead and just keep entering your answers into the text box. Pause when you need to. And when you're ready to move on, go ahead and move on. Okay, so we have A, then we have B. So you're going to have to try this one. So again, underline the numbers, circle the phrases, and if we have a variable, put a box around that. We have B following the same, this is C, following the same technique. D, And if you don't understand, remember, just put a question mark, but try them. I want to see that you're trying these. You're looking at least underlining and circling and putting a box around the key phrases and the numbers and your variables. We have E. We have F. And don't forget, the decreased by is a little bit backwards from the way you would think about it. Okay, so now we have another example of a word problem. So I'm going to use my same technique that I've been using. So I'm going to read my problem. The number of students in the science club is 4 more than twice the number of the students in the math club. So here it says, let M be the number of students in your math club. So that's my variable. So I'm going to put a box around my variable. I'm going to underline my numbers. The number of students in the science club is 4 more than twice the number of students in the math club. I'm going to circle my key phrases so I see more than, and I think that's it. So now I am going to write this as a mathematical equation. Okay, so I know I have twice the number of students in the math club, and I know M is what I'm going to use for my math club, and I know I have twice the number, so I have twice, 2 times, and then the science club is 4 more than. So if I look back at my chart, that means to add 4 more. So I've now written my expression to find the number of students in the science club. We're going to practice these so that we are able to do these. So again, pause when you need. Okay, we're going to try another type of problem. So this is example 4. A bamboo shoot is 4 inches tall. During its growing season, it grows 3 inches a day. So we're going to make a table. So I already have the table made, so copy that down. That shows the height of the bamboo for 4 days. So if you notice, I have it all the way to day 4 down here at the bottom. So I know at day 0, my bamboo shoot is already starting. It is 4 inches tall, so I can put that here in my chart, that it's already 4 inches tall. During its growing season, it grows 3 inches a day, so I'm going to underline 3 inches every day. So if I start at 4, I'm going to add 3 inches every day, so 3 times the number of days. So how tall is my bamboo shoot after 1 day? It would be 7 inches tall. So now I'm going to do for 2 days. So let's look at what equation we are using here. So I'm starting at 4, and it's growing, the bamboo's growing 3 inches a day. So that means I'm going to add 3 inches per day. So notice that's my variable, and I'm inserting the number of days for D. So we use that equation. So I'm starting at my 4. Now, if I have my bamboo shoot growing for 2 days, I'm going to put 2 in there. So 4 plus 6 equals 10. I'm going to continue on with the same pattern. 4 plus 3 times 3, because now I'm at day 3. So now I have 4 plus 9 is 13. Same thing, starting at 4, it grows 3 inches per day, and I have 4 days. So 4 plus 12 gives me 16. So now I've made this nice chart, so I can predict, hopefully, what my bamboo shoot will be after any number of days. So copy this down, and again, when you're ready to move on, go ahead and move on. So we've already kind of answered this question. So this is back with question number 4 that we just did. A bamboo shoot is 4 inches tall, so that's what we're starting with. During its growing season, it grows 3 inches a day. So for every day, it's going to grow 3 more inches. So it says write an expression, which we already did because I think that helps me to look at things. So I know I'm starting at 4 inches, and then it's going to grow 3 inches every day. So we can use that formula that we just said was 4 plus 3 times d to solve for any day, any number of days. So sorry, that kind of covered the number of days. So we now have 14 days. It's hard to see that. So now we have 14 days, so I'm going to just plug that in for my d. So I have 4 plus 3 times 14 to give me the height after 14 days. So if I multiply that out, 3 times 14, I'm just going to do a little side math just to make sure I don't make any mistakes. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So now I have 4 plus 42. So my final answer would be 46 inches. Okay, so we're going to practice some more of those. So you're going to try one. So you're going to use the same technique that I've been using. So here's the question. Your friend has 5 more than twice as many game tokens as your sister. So let T be the number of game tokens your sister has. So we want to write an expression for the number of game tokens that your friend has. So I want you to underline the important information. So remember, we're underlining our numbers. We might want to circle where we see our key phrases. And then make sure you're answering the question. So the question is, how many game tokens your friend has? Okay, so to solve that, try the best that you can. Don't forget, we're going to go over all of this tomorrow during class. If you don't get it right now, that's okay. We're going to spend more time tomorrow working on some of these problems. So you should see one more screen that you're going to enter some information into. And I just want you to write down any questions you may still have or any problems that you're having. Or you can just leave it blank. And we'll see you tomorrow.